Hi, welcome to my craft corner. I'm Heidi with Onigo Stamping, and I'm so excited that you are joining me today because I have a quick and easy card to share with you. This card is based on a card sketch. I love card sketches. They make card making so easy, so quick, and so much fun. You'll find a picture of this card sketch over on my website, and the link to my website's in the description to this video. I'm going to be using the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper with this sketch. I love this set of pattern paper. It's absolutely gorgeous. So many different plaids, and it's just the colors are so vibrant and beautiful. I think you're gonna love it too. I can't wait to show it to you. Before I get started, if you aren't currently working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you have questions, you need help getting started, you need help with a stamping technique, you wanna order some product, maybe you wanna host your own Stampin' Up! Event, or you'd like to come to one of my card classes, I'd be happy to help you with all of those things. I have so much going on with Onigo Stamping, and I hope that you'll join me. Leave me a comment or send me an email and I will get back to you and help however I can. Otherwise, go ahead and check out my website, look at all the different stuff that's going on, join my Facebook group, get involved. I'd love to help you, love to share more ideas with you. All right, Onigo, let's get stamping. The simple card design that I have to share with you today features the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. This pattern paper is absolutely gorgeous. If you like plaid, you have to have this set. I just love it. It's so great because it's bright colors, it's earthy colors, there's some black and whites, some kind of neutral colors, some jewel tone colors. It just has a little bit of everything. So if you see, and they all, you can pick a couple that will work together. And then there's ones that are very different. So these ones are all kind of bright. And you'll see this one I'm starting to run out of, so I only have little pieces of it left. You can see all those colors, and it's double-sided. So then these, kind of on the back, there's some more earthy colors and jewel tones. There's some that will be good for Christmas, Halloween, fall, just whatever. This set is gonna last you from fall all the way through next summer because the colors are just absolutely beautiful. So I love it. And this card, this is a fall card, but I'm using these nice bright colors on it because I love the bright colors. So let me set that aside. The card also uses the Rooted in Nature stamp set, which is a giant stamp set in 2 boxes with absolutely beautiful tree images, leaves, some greetings. And this is a cling mount stamp set, which means it uses red rubber. So I'm using that. And we're going to start. I'm going to stamp a leaf, kind of the smaller leaf. I'm using Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to stamp this on some Melon Mambo cardstock. Just like that. And then I'm going to use the Nature's Roots framelits to cut this out. So the set also has all these framelits that go with it. It's a giant set, and there's so much goodness in it. So let me grab out the right die. Okay, so I cut that leaf with the die that cuts it out. What's also great about these dies is there's also certain dies, these ones right here, that don't cut, they just emboss those veins of the leaves onto your piece. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use the one that matches the leaf that I stamped, and I'm just going to add that extra dimension to it. Now these are great. You could use them on the background to your card just to, without it even being stamped, to give it a little bit extra texture. But this time I'm going to use it in conjunction with the stamped image just to give my leaf a little bit extra texture. So just like when I die cut, I'm going to go ahead and just put this on my magnetic plate with a cutting plate underneath. I'm just lining it right up to where I cut that leaf out, and then I'm adding a second plate over the top, and then I just run this through my machine just like I would if I were cutting. So there's that leaf, and it's a little bit hard to see, but you can feel that texture in there. Because it's already stamped, it probably doesn't show up very well on the camera, but it definitely adds just a little bit extra texture. So I'm going to set the dies aside. I went ahead before I started and I cut out some more leaves. So I have some leaves that were stamped in Melon Mambo on Bumblebee cardstock. Another leaf that's stamped in Blackberry Bliss on the Melon Mambo cardstock. And I have a leaf stamped in Blackberry Bliss on the Bumblebee cardstock. I also cut out and embossed 2 leaves from vellum. So vellum is a paper that used to be used by architects because you can see through it. So they draw on it and you'd be able to line up different drawings and look at different drawings together. But it's now used most often, probably, I don't know, maybe the architects still use it, I'm not sure. But it's often used in card making, and it's absolutely beautiful because it is kind of translucent. You can see through it, but it's not absolutely clear. So it just gives a nice look. So I did emboss those leaves on there, and I don't know if you can see that, but it does make it, kind of makes it just a little bit shiny where that leaf is, and it leaves, you can feel it in there. So it's really cool. So I have those leaves ready to go. I also have some pieces of that designer series paper already cut. This top piece is 2.5 by 3 3/4 inches. And don't worry, all of the cutting dimensions will be available on my website as well. The bottom piece is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to mount both of these pieces on some Bumblebee cardstock. The top one is 1 15/16 by 3 15/16. You know I love that 3/16 inch border. So it's 3/16 inch wider and taller, which makes a really nice thin, skinny border. I'm using my Stampin' Seal to just put some adhesive on the back of this. And then I'm going to put that right on the mat. Now I do want to make sure that, I want to make sure that I've lined up my plaid because these are going to be next to each other. So it's really nice that the plaid is lined up like it was on the piece of paper. So just using my Stampin' Seal again. Quick and easy. That Stampin' Seal is so easy, mess-free, just great, perfect for this. So there's those pieces. Now I want to stamp a greeting. For the greeting, I'm using the Peaceful Moment stamp set. This matches the Painted Poppies stamp set, but it's just a great greeting stamp set. All sorts of, a variety of greetings that are nice and bold and work great with all sorts of cards. So I'm going to grab the stamp set that says, "These are the moments we'll look back on with joy." I'm going to place that on a clear block. And then I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss ink pad again, and I'm going to stamp this on white. So just going to ink this up. And I need to get a re-inker for my Blackberry Bliss, so hopefully I get a good impression. I'm going to stamp this on the Whisper White. Could be a little bit darker. Definitely need to get a re-inker for this one. That's how you know when you need a re-inker, is when it starts getting light, or when you don't get a real even color across there. Parts of it are darker than others. And when you can start to look, I don't know, you probably can't see this, but when you can start to see the ink pad, when you see impressions left on it, or where the foam is torn up a little bit, not really torn, but where it has marks on it, you can tell that it's getting dry. And I know that this one's getting dry. I need to order the re-inker for it before it gets too dry. So, all right, set that aside. I want to cut this out using the stitched shaped dies. The stitched shaped dies are really great because you have ovals, circles, and squares. And I'm going to use a circle for this. It's the second to largest circle. And I'm just going to cut this out. Okay, so I cut that greeting out from the Whisper White cardstock, and it makes that beautiful stitched circle. And now I'm going to work on putting my card together. So the card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and this is Blackberry Bliss cardstock. I'm going to use a bone folder, and I'm just making that crease nice and tight. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to adhere those pieces of mounted plaid paper to the front of my card. Just using my Stampin' Seal again. And I'm going to put the smaller one on the bottom and the bigger one on the top. And there's going to be a hole in between them. We're going to leave a blank space in between these two pieces. It almost gives you a stripe across the front of your card. So careful, try to line those up. So just like that. Now I'm going to start laying down some of the leaves on the front of here. And I'm going to start just by I want to lay them out a little bit, make sure I know what I'm going for. So varying where they are, what sizes I'm using, etc. And so that looks pretty good. And then I'll put the circle on over top. So now that I know where those are kind of going to go, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere them to my card front. And for this, I'm going to use some liquid adhesive. You can see I used a scrap of Melon Mambo cardstock that I'd already used. Oops, that was not the one I wanted to put down first. Make sure I put down the one I want first. I'm going to start by laying down this bumblebee one. It's nice and big. It makes a good base. I'm going to put the smaller bumblebee one on the other side. And then we'll put the Melon Mambo ones over top. So put this Melon Mambo one over here. And the bottoms don't have to all line up because the circle will go over right over top of that. So you can work more with this outer edge instead of the inner edge. So I'm looking at this edge and getting that edge lined up where I want it instead of looking at that center. I'm not trying to make those all match in the center, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So there's my other Melon Mambo leaf. And now I want to adhere the vellum leaves. With the vellum is see-through. So I don't want to put adhesive all over the back of this because when I push that down, it's going to show where that adhesive is. So I'm very carefully going to put some adhesive just in this area over here that I know is going to be under that greeting. And that way I won't see the adhesive, but it will be adhered down. I just want to hold that for just a second, make sure it's stuck. I'm going to do the other one too, and then we'll put something over top of this while we do the next step and let it dry. So there's those two vellum leaves. I'm just going to grab a block, a clear block. I'm just going to set this on here for just a minute and let those dry while we are tying the bow. So I want to put a bow on here, and I'm using the linen thread. I'm just going to tie it. I'm actually going to put the center to the bow underneath the greeting as well. So I kind of want to make a big loopy bow and just pull that nice and tight. But I want the loops to be rather large because they're going to hang out from under the greeting. So there's my bow. Trim off the end. Now I want to use a little mini glue dot. These are the best things for holding bows. So I just take the paper off the top, and then I'm going to put the bow right in on that glue dot, and then I'll peel the glue dot up, and I'm going to put the bow where I want it. That's just going right in there. Now we are ready to add this greeting over top, and you can see how that bow is underneath. The center to the bow is underneath, and it's just going to be the loopy ends and the tails that stick out. I'm going to adhere the greeting with some Stampin' Dimensionals, of course. So just put a couple on the back, and this card is almost done. This is definitely a quick and easy card. And I have another card sample using a different stamp set and a different plaid, but very similar still, and the same exact layout. So you could use this layout for all sorts of things. So add my greeting right over top. And then one more little step, I want to add some of these. These are the 2020-2022 in color enamel dots. So I want to add a couple of the bumblebee ones. to my card. And these have adhesive already on the back, so they're just very quick and easy to add to the front, which I love. So I'm just adding 3 of those to the front of my card, and there we go. It's all done. So that is today's card. And I want to show you, I made a second card using a different stamp set, so I want to show that to you too. Here's the second card. This card uses the All Things Fabulous stamp set. And I used a gold cord. This gold cord is in the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. So it's really pretty. And that's on there. And then I just added a couple of the iridescent pearls. These are in the August to December mini catalog. And they're with the Halloween things. I think they're supposed to be like a Halloween embellishment. But I just like it for a dark colored, shiny embellishment on any sort of card. And the Happy Birthday, again, is from that same Peaceful Moment stamp set. So just a really fun card. 2 quick and easy cards using the same basic layout. And, you know, they look similar, but yeah, very different. You could do this with all sorts of flowers, different images, different leaves, whatever you want. Wasn't that a great, quick, and easy card design? I love card sketches. Once again, you'll find all the dimensions, photos of today's samples, and the card sketch over on my website. The link to my website is in the description to this video. There's also a link that goes directly to the complete supply list for today's projects, and you can actually shop directly from that supply list. Again, if you have any questions, just leave a comment, send me an email, and I will be happy to help you. Thank you again for joining me. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and come back again for more cards. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.